Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Betty. You don't know me. The reason my channel name is You Don't Know Me is because you don't know me. But to the ones out there that love my videos, that leave me nice comments, that leave me emails that make me tear up of the love and joy, thank you so much. I thoroughly appreciate you. And if someone hasn't told you that you are beautiful or handsome today, I am telling you, you are beautiful and you are very handsome. And let me tell you something else. You have all of the beauty and qualities inside and out that you need and the tools to be able to help other people. I come here to inspire each and every one of you to become a better you every single day. It's not easy out here. It's hard, and many people are evil, but we can rise above the evil, and we can balance it out, and we can have the strength and the honor, and we can make people feel better and take that evil and throw it out the window. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Whether they be good or bad, I still like to read them and engage. And if they're too bad, then YouTube will remove them, or I will report and remove them. But thank you and so much for everything and all the blessings and amazing people that I have met throughout the years on this YouTube. I just want to give you a big thank you. And let's go. It's time for the video now. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it may be. Welcome to You Don't Know Me. Today I'm going to be doing a review on It's Happening Now, and it's going to be surprising for you as it's going to be surprising for me because I haven't seen it either. So I hope you guys have had an amazing morning, noon, or night, whatever it may be for you. And to the ones that watch my channel, leave me amazing emails letting me know that I've changed their life for the better. Thank you. You are what makes it worth it for me to come live and do these things for you. And like I said, rise above all the evil and all the animosity and look towards the light, look towards God, and look at yourself deep within yourself and start changing your ways like I've been doing with me. You know, the thing that happened with my daughter was the best thing that could have ever happened because now we're actually closer than we've ever been. We took the past, we threw it away. We said we don't need the past. Why do we need the past? It's not going to help us for the future. We can't move forward if we continue to live upon the past. And that's with any relationship. And so now we've thrown it all away. She will be here Sunday. She gets to spend a whole entire week with me, helping me build my business. And I'm just so excited to be able to see her. I haven't seen her in about 2 or 3 months now. And just continue to say the prayers for her. She seems to be doing really well, and she's on her road to recovery. And when it comes to, you know, having any kind of problems of addiction or anything like that, there are people out there that love you, that will help you. And it's one of the hardest things to stop doing a horrible thing. And it happens to millions and millions of people around the world. I'm not an addiction counselor. I per se have never been addicted to anything except cigarettes. So I kind of look at it as if I'm addicted to cigarettes the way that I am, then I can totally see how if you're addicted to drugs, you're addicted to alcohol, or whatever the case may be, how very hard it is and how you need a lot of support to get through it. So as you guys all know, you don't know me. You assume, you make assumptions, you think that you know who I am. You think you know my life, but you don't. And the only reason I'm here is for the ones that want me to be here and the ones that enjoy my content. To the rest of you, I still wish you a very happy day, and I hope that you do find happiness somewhere along the way. And like I said, the only way that I've found happiness is getting closer to our Heavenly Father. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's the way I'm finding happiness. And I'm changing my ways. I'm doing the best that I possibly can. And when I sat back and we looked at it, me and my daughter together, and we made that pact to not go back to the past at all, to let it all go and let's move to the future. And when she had said, you yelled at me, I realized that's a trait. That's a trait that I learned with my mom yelling at me, my dad or my grandpa yelling at me, and it's something that you have to unlearn. When you get angry, you don't have to yell. You could actually speak to somebody. And for all of those people out there that think that they're the perfect mother or the perfect father, you are wrong. You are not. Nobody in this world is perfect, and our children do not come with instructions. So, to all of those that was wondering what was going on, that's the message that I have to give to you. And Shaylin also sends all of her love. Now, let's begin with the video.
Welcome to another episode of the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide, hosted by yours truly, Pretty Boss. I'm recording this on Wednesday, January 10th at 9:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is spiritual guidance, prophetic guidance, intuitive guidance, wisdom, knowledge, and gems for those of y'all who are in alignment with Source, with God, with yourself, with your purpose. I have a feeling today there's going to be some pretty specific messages. Some of you may want to take notes. This is a time that you're going to be connecting with your empire. And what I mean by empire, I mean your four corners of the earth. What I mean is you're creating a true world, a true habitation for yourself. This is a time that you're going to seek and find everything that you've been looking for. And these things are going to come to you in magnificent ways. This is for someone who has been through many battles and back. I mean, you've fought in many wars. You fought many battles in your time. And you don't look like what you've been through at all.
I do want to say something.
The funny thing about this is,
I do want to say before we go any further that I did not watch this prior. So, as I said, I'm watching this at the same time that you all are. And wow, just powerful at the very beginning. It's just very powerful. I love how she is able to speak and the way that she's able to, give people hope and, um, really help them to find their inner strength, because finding your inner strength, fighting all kinds of different battles, no matter what battles it be, whether it be health, whether it be people that just don't like you and they're never going to like you, whether it be financial battles, whether it be, love battles, whatever it may be, you know, you have been there through the battles. Only you and your Heavenly Father knows your story, unless you say your story. Otherwise, no one knows your story, because a lot of people hold their heads up very high. They don't look like they've been to hell and back, but they have. They really have. And so you don't take people's looks as, oh, that person had a silver spoon all their life, because it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. And when you look at somebody, you can't determine what type of person they are by looking at them. You also don't know their heart. You also don't know their beliefs. You also don't know nothing about them. But I find it strange that people make all of these weird comments on the internet that is not even themselves, and they wouldn't do that in person. I just find that strange. Lift people up like you want to be lifted. Treat people like you want to be treated. You are a person. You deserve it. Whatever struggles, whatever addictions, whatever it is that you've been through, you are the one that came out in the good end. You are the one. And nobody can take that glory away from you. Nobody. So let's continue. I got to let Victoria out.
You're coming into a space where you're going to be able to be honest with yourself in a way that you just not been able to be honest with yourself at this point. I mean, let's face it. It takes time to be able to pull off those layers, especially when you had to heal from so much. When your entire life, when you can think of each stage of your life, each life cycle that you've been through, and there's been significant lessons, there's been significant challenges, there's been traumas and dramas. It takes time to peel back those layers. You don't get damaged in 2 weeks. Damage happens over a lifetime. And so as you heal, as you start to remember who you are and who you've always been, and remind yourself of who you're becoming, this is a process. And after where you are today, that you peel back so many layers, you're now finally getting into a space where you can truly answer the question, what do you want? You're starting to become clear about the things that don't satisfy you. You're starting to become clear about the things that are just not you. You're starting to become clear about the direction that you're actually willing to take. And as you do this, many of you have found comfort in yourself. Many of you have found comfort in solitude. Some of you are going to be getting into doing things or reading or learning or studying specific things that really capture and motivate your interest. These are going to be things that speaks directly to your mind, directly to your soul, directly to your spirit, that is going to truly lead you in the direction of everything that you've been seeking. There's something that's very peaceful about you during this time. It's almost as if you're going to find yourself truly able to tune the world out. Not just what you've been through in your personal world, in your personal life, but you're going to find yourself truly tuning out the world. You're going to find yourself creating an island in the midst of Babylon. You're going to find yourself creating an island in the midst of the hellish dimension and matrix that we've been living in for so long. You're going to find a way to create your own piece of heaven on earth, and everybody's not going to be invited to this party. Let's go ahead and get into this message. So, this is the thing. There's an aspect of you that is taken over and is overshadowed who you truly are. Some of you were born truly lighthearted. If you could see old videos of yourself, if you could see old pictures of yourself, and some of you maybe don't even have access to these things, or you just haven't come across them as of yet. But if you could see some of these things, and see how you really were in your natural form, see how you were in your earlier years before you went through certain circumstances and certain things, you'd realize that a lot of the energy that you've been carrying, a lot of that burden, it's almost like a cloud of smoke that has been over you. You'll realize that that has nothing to do with you. That's a shadow of who you actually are. That's something else. La sombra. It's like something that has just been following you over your life, almost like a dark cloud. You know, on a beautiful day, the sun is out, the sky is clear. That's you, right? But because of the things that has happened in life, there's been so many clouds, so many different energies, so many different things, so many different mindsets, thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that have been able to permeate your sky. So there's so many clouds that has been filling up your arena, and this has blocked out who you truly are, which you're a person that is an unconditional lover. You're someone who really likes to laugh. You're somebody who's excited. You're somebody who, it's funny, you might not even find yourself at a space in life where you like to really dance too much or even laugh or even singing things of that nature. But that's you. Like that's your energy. You were always a fun, happy person. And something about this demonic world that you've been living in has tried to suffocate that. So the thing here is you're connecting with yourself again. And you're doing it unconditionally. Like some of you, this is so powerful because the reason that you're going to be able to step into this new space and create something that hasn't been seen in this following time that we live in. I mean, we do live in a realm of followers. I have no idea what's been going on the earth. If you've ever read Behold a Pale Horse, the original version, because they do have a shortened version circulating on Amazon that's taken out a chapter or so, and who knows what else they dibbled and dabbled. But if you have that original 1991 version of Behold a Pale Horse, it's very interesting because if you read that, I remember I read that. My mother brought us that
Oh,
book.
wait, he's talking about Behold of the Pale White Horse. Bill Cooper wrote that book. William Cooper, Bill Cooper wrote that book. Behold a Pale White Horse. That has a lot of information in it. I per se have never read the book, but I hear it has a lot of information, and I've heard him speak a lot, a lot.
Back when I was probably about 14, 13, 14, probably even 12. Anywhere between the ages of 12 and 14 was the first time that book was introduced in my life. And I remember as we read that book, me, my brother, and my uncle, who my mother raised as her son. So it's almost like I had two brothers. Um, when we read that book and as we dug, dove into it, my mother used to always say, y'all are not going to fall into the cracks. I refuse to have y'all fall into the cracks. Y'all not going to fall into the cracks. And that book literally laid out the program that I sit here and I literally see at play today. I was just having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, and I was like, how do you reverse this? How do you stop this machine that's been full throttle? Like things are expanding in a way that it's just it's counterintuitive. It's not really necessarily the most productive, right? It seems like we have a lot of productivity, but when you really look at what's been expanding, it's been a lot of trash. It's been a lot of entertainment that serves nothing or no one, right? Entertainment is good, but again, we need things in moderation. What the world doesn't even realize is we've been living in a realm of crackheads. Okay. People think just because they're not taking the pipe, just because they don't have that 8 ball, they don't realize the addictions in which society has been dealing with. That cell phone is in your hands, that tablet, that laptop, dopamine hits galore. I believe that people are dealing with dopamine hits in ways that traditional drugs don't even do it. So there's been so many cracks that has been open. There's been so many programs that has been laid that when you really start to look and see how can this be a sewage, how can this be fixed, right? What is the solution? How do we go in a different direction from here without degenerating the rest of society that's coming now and after? I realized that the crack already been open, the traps have already been set, and there are so many programs that are just already late. And it made me think of Behold the Pale Horse because I'm like, this I wrote about this over 2 decades ago. And lo and behold, this is the day and age that the full fruition of that is at hand. There's been a program. And even before that program of whatever government, whatever group of people, even before that program, there was already a program, right? We know we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against a spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. So when we understand this, we can detach from the drones. We can detach from the robots. We can detach from those who've been programmed. It's at a point to where how can you be mad at people who are living out these programs when they're just a bot? Forgive them for they know not what they do. So it's almost as if you live in a world and people are so concerned about AI, but let's just call robots, because I'm like, people are concerned about artificial intelligence, which currently has a lot of beneficial uses, especially for entrepreneurs. Can really cut down on your workload. It can really allow you, especially if you're a person who you like to work alone and you don't prefer to work with the drones and the bots. It will allow you to be able to do a lot of things to where it's like you can really be that person who's able to do 5 people's jobs because you're able to implement AI. With that being said, people are focused on the wrong things. We live in a world of AI. Most people that you see are AI, they're programmed. If you're not able to think for yourself, if you're not able to be for yourself, then who are you? You're nothing more than a bot. So then you start to realize that we do live in this world of zombies. The Walking Dead is very real. It's not just a TV show. We do live in a world of bots. Many are called, but very few are chosen. We can see this clearly. Scripture ain't never lie about that. So then what do you do? Do you get mad at robots? That's like trying to argue with, you ever call those customer service numbers, like trying to think of some who just have horrible customer service. You can't even get people on the phone. Y'all know those companies that you'll call. I think Comcast is probably one of them. Xfinity is like the worst, right? It takes forever to get an actual human being on the phone with Xfinity. So you ever call for customer service, which is most of these companies these days, these mediocre companies these days, and you'll get a bot on the phone. And you ever get aggravated, like you're yelling at the bot, it's asking you stupid questions, and you just start, spazzing. Has anybody else ever done that, or is that just pretty well? I've gotten better with it over the years. I don't really do that anymore, you know. But it's just something in me that just wish I could just ring the bot by the neck. It just be a part of me that I just wish I could just let the bot have it. But then when you realize and you sit back, you're like, yo, this is counterintuitive. Like, this bot is never gonna feel anything. It's not ever gonna feel my anger. It's not ever gonna feel my frustration. It's not gonna feel any of that. It's a bot. And so then you just treat the bot as such. Sometimes I just hang up, I'll call back, push the numbers a different time, figure out a different sequence of things to tell them customer service. Just no emotions involved. Just do what I got to do and just realize the bot is the bot. Well, I said all of that to say, welcome to 2024. We in here. Um, those of you who are chosen, those of you who are light workers and are light beings, you're liberating yourself completely from the realm of bots. Many of you are going to find yourself not even really engaging in a lot of the things that people do. You're going to find yourself finding new avenues. It's like I said, you're going to be creating an island for yourself. Okay. And on this island, you will start to resonate with others who've created islands for themselves as well, and you will visit each other on your islands. The thing is, you're going to find new sources of information, new sources of content, things that actually resonate with you. Because the funniest thing about it is, even the bots are bored. There's an aspect to where society is so oversaturated with foolishness that people lack certain types of passion, lack certain type of motivation, lacks certain type of inspiration, because even when we speak about the internet, and especially social media in particular, especially the fact that everybody can have it in the palm of their hand, the internet has always been here, but it changed once you took the internet off of the laptop, once you took the internet off of the computer and put it in the palm of everybody's hands, to where you don't even need to have a car, be able to afford a house, but everybody has a cell phone, right? Everybody has access to the internet, and then you can create whatever reality that you want on the internet. It's this movie called Out of Time. I don't know if y'all have ever seen it. It's with Justin Timberlake. Really good movie. I feel it's like it's been so underrated because I never heard of anybody talk about that movie. But check it out, okay? If I give movie plugs, best believe it's 100. But it's a movie called Out of Time. And in this movie, things got a lot different, and it got to a point in time where people were literally living in these virtual realities, and projecting themselves into the world. And I believe that's that movie. Even if that's not that movie, the movie's really good, but I believe that is a part of that movie as well, if I'm not.
Sorry, I'm actually eating my lunch because I was live somewhere before I came here. And she's exactly right. But as I've said many, many times, that a movie is actually truth. And it's either happened, going to happen, predictions, and whether it be a comedy, whether it be, a love story, whether it be tragedy, whether it be horror, it has happened. Best believe, or it's going to happen, because they have to come out and tell you what they're preparing you for. And I didn't know that for so many years. I was just a movie junkie, and never once did I ever realize it like that. And once I started seeing it like that, I was just like really blown away at the fact that the movies have turned to real life. And we may have watched a movie back in the 80s that are now coming to life now. And we thought in the 80s and 90s, wow, that's so cool. This, that, and the third, which I think The Simpsons was the ones that came out showing the very first flip phone where you could actually video chat way before they came out. And I do know that the government has, at least 30 plus years on technology, and that a lot of times it's just hidden from the public, and they release it when they want to. Why do you think that every 6 months they're coming out with a brand new phone? They've had these phones for 30 years. It's absolutely crazy when you think about it. But as she's sitting here and she's talking about the movie, it's reminding me that the movie is truth. And that's the way you have to look at it. It is actual truth of what's to come, or what they're doing, or how things are going.
Mistaking. And these are the things that has happened. We already live in a world of AI. We already live in a world of superficial. We already live in a world of, it almost seems like everything has been done. So people are burnt out. People who haven't even had personal experiences for themselves have lived so vicariously, whether it's known or unbeknownst to them, through other people who have been living lives who are, a lot of them are based on illusion, that some of these things that people haven't even been able to experience from themselves, it's almost like there's a distaste or there's no desire for it. Mm. The thing with this is, there are going to be some improvements. There are going to be some things, for lack of a better word, that you come across that allows you to connect to a different time space reality. When I say time space reality, you're going to be very present on Earth. It's not that you're going to be ungrounded. It's not that you're going to be just in your crown and beyond, even though those of you who I'm talking to, you're always up there, you're always connected, you're always receiving those direct downloads. Your eye of the body is filled with light and it's wide open. Even though that is the case, this is not going to be something that makes you and takes you away from this space. It's going to be like you're able to bring something above down. And the thing about this is you're going to be able to reap the first fruits of this. This is going to be something that's for you for quite some time. You're going to be able to revel in this. You're going to be able to enjoy this. It's almost like, think about, you know, the time when there was less people in the world and there was still so much land to be discovered, you know? And I'm not talking about by
So here to me, it sounds like she's talking about time traveling because they're saying in 2030 that the time traveling will be available, but you will just be standing in a room and then you will go to the past, but your body is still in that room. And that's why, you see old photographs and stuff, and it's got people with cell phones on it because they've been doing time traveling for years, many, many years. Does anybody remember John Tudor, who came back in the 2000s and was writing on the forums and talking about time traveling and how um, it works and how he needed to come back to get a part from IBM from a 1975 computer? It's particle acceleration. And it's like the asbestos of light, but you're in another dimension. And they're going to be able to put you in another dimension. It's going to absolutely happen. And I believe this is what she's saying, but trying to say it in a roundabout way. Because if she read um, A Tale of the Pale White Horse, then Bill Cooper had already talked about that. And he knew about a lot of things because he had that clearance to know. And that's why he's no longer with us. May he rest in peace.
Christopher Columbus and them who didn't discover anything. But I'm talking about by the indigenous people who really were discovering new lands, right? So when you think about this and just put yourself in a space and time where there was still new land to be discovered, maybe you use certain resources over here and then you travel and then you find a new space and it's like, oh my God, the land is fertile, the land is fresh. Even when I was talking about The Last Kingdom just like a few weeks ago or the other month, when you look at that, the Vikings in that movie were taking over territory in the beginning of that series. And when they came, they're like, oh, the water's fresh, the land is fertile and things of that nature, because wherever they were coming from, those resources were already depleted. So imagine coming from a place where it seems like everything is depleted, which a lot of the world feels like that these days, but people just don't have the words to put to it. And a lot of people are internalizing this and thinking it's something that's wrong with them when it's not you. It is the world. Okay. It is the current state of society. Even if we just look at things on a global level, as far as like the earth, as far as the environment, the natural environment, there's a lot of things that has been sullied. If we look at the animals, if we look at the weather, we can see there's been a lot of things that have changed. And the earth is not the problem, right? The natural checks and balances aren't the problem, because things will be checked and balanced every time, but it's more so of the inhabitants, these people who call themselves humans on earth. It's more so of that which has been done to the earth that has been causing a lot of these imbalances. So with that being said, you are going to find an oasis. You're about to discover a new land and territory, but more so than discovering it, it's like you're discovering it from another place and you're bringing it down. While Elon Musk and them are trying to go outer space and do all of these other things, you're going to be inhabiting new lands right here. See, the funny thing, and this always makes me think of the scripture, especially as of lately, the scripture's been coming up. It's called the meek shall inherit the earth. Because sometimes people can get a little bit too big for themselves. And I'm not calling out any particular people here, even though I just mentioned Elon Musk has nothing to do with this guy. It's many people who are prototypes of this same type of energy. Again, this is a program. Again, this is a drone based, AI based society minus the AI. We're not talking chat GPT. We're talking programmed people. We're talking zombies here. So the thing is, you're finding and discovering a new oasis, and it's almost like under the nose of the matrix, because people can get too big for their britches. It's even like that king that gets so big and so full of himself and so disconnected from society that they don't realize they have people in their kingdom that are planning and have been plotting to overthrow them and is ready to do it. It's that type of energy. When people just get disconnected. It's funny because I even watched the Dave Chappelle Dreamers episode last night. I was like, you know what? I wasn't gonna watch it, but it was the new year, and I was like, I just saw Cat Williams go off on Shannon Sharp. I love that for 2024. Very dope way to pull in the year. That's how you pull up to 2024. And then I went on Netflix, which I haven't been on there as much lately, but I went on there the other day and I saw Dave Chappelle. So I'm like, okay, we got Cat and now we got Dave. And Dave Chappelle had always been like one of my favorite comedians. And if we're talking about the majority content of his work, he's definitely still like one my personal top comedian of all time. But to be honest here, when I watched that episode, The Dreamers, I just didn't really, it wasn't that funny. Maybe I laughed about 4 times, okay? And it was just I don't know, it seemed that's not, David, he was always a person who was relatable. It's like you could tell that he was in touch with the times, and in touch with certain things that, as a collective, and especially a certain collective of people really resonated with. And that just seemed like the most disconnected performance of Dave Chappelle I'd ever seen. Like I said, I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't even recommend it to anybody to watch. If you found it funny, shouts out to you. But like I said, there was a few laughs there, but it's like out of all of the performance I've ever seen of Dave Chappelle, that was one that I was like, wow, who knows what's going on? People, you know, it is what it is. And that's no diss to Dave Chappelle. Cause like I said, even with that being said, I can look at his larger body of work and still say, like, he's to me one of the best comedians that we've seen in my personal generation. But I said that to say there comes these times where people can really get disconnected. And there are certain parts of society that has gotten so disconnected and so far removed from the heart of humanity that it's going to have repercussions, and it's going to allow a new faction of people to really rise. Okay. And when we're talking about this, of course, I'm definitely referring to my chosen ones here. I'm referring to my light workers. I'm referring to my star seeds. The thing is, everything that is happening right now, all this oversaturation, the current state of affairs, the internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of these things, whatever it is, everything that is being witnessed right now and everything that's going on right now and everything that seems like it's just exponentially expanding. The thing about this is it's dying. Okay. It's dying. Things can only reach a certain point before they burst. This is making me think about the stock market. This is making me think about the housing market. This is just making me think of finances in general, especially when we talk about these different systems, right? Right? Like I said, stock market, or if you talk about the housing market, there are times, and there's been multiple times in society, and it will continue to be cycles like that, where you would just see the stock market just it's just increasing, and you usually know when the stock market or the housing market is at a bubble, because that's usually the time when most people are buying. That's usually the time where people that don't even have it to buy, or usually wouldn't even invest or buy, that's usually when they're buying. This is when everybody's so positive and optimistic about these investments, because it's been doing well for so long, and it's just been getting larger and larger. The market cap's getting larger and larger and larger and larger, and it gets larger and larger and larger into a point where it bursts. And this is what we call bubbles. And then this is when you see recessions happen. This is when you see the stock market crash or fall. This is when you see the housing markets crash or fall, right? This is when you start to see those different types of depressions happen, or mini depressions. So the thing is, everything that we're witnessing right now, to this point in our current society, witnessing a bubble. And so it may seem like these things are just going to get larger and larger and increase and increase and increase, but the bubble is getting ready to burst. So the thing for you to do as a seer, as a light worker, as a chosen one, as one who has been set apart from the drones, your only focus right now should be towards the future and what is being created. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Now, of course, we live in the framework of this current society, of this current matrix. So there are certain things that needs to be done so that we can take care of bills, so that we can put food on the table, so that we can take care of ourselves and our loved ones, and be able to be those blessings to the people that we need to be a blessing to. However, the focus should be on the future, because everything that is getting larger and larger and larger and larger right now is getting ready to implode on itself. You can think of the current state of society as a stock market bubble getting ready to burst.
Yeah.
Okay, straight up. And the thing about this is, some of you who are not impressed, because some of you just don't have a desire. It's like, even with YouTube, I remember when I started doing YouTube many years ago, family. So many years ago, I can't even quantify it, but I'll give you an example of when. Okay, I'll paint the picture. When I first got on YouTube, this is back in the day where some of you were too young. Shouts out to Gen Z. But when YouTube first started, it started off as a social media. So the cool thing about YouTube, especially this is when I was in high school, probably even, was I in high school? Yeah, I was in high school. Um, and it was so dope because YouTube was a place where you could find all the music videos.
Yep.
So music videos that we hadn't been able to see since the 90s. I remember even like, Gin and Juice, and just certain videos where you could look any video you ever saw that you hadn't seen in years, because the internet wasn't the way that it is now. Now you can search anything. But back then, if it wasn't the time and space, you just was never going to see that video again. Well, YouTube came out and we were able to search up, because music videos used to be a thing back in the day.
Yep.
So like we would search up different music videos, and it was so dope because any music video you could ever think of, you'll find it on YouTube.
Right.
So then YouTube moved out of that era because, different regulations and things of that nature, even though now I'm sure you can find all of these videos again, because now the companies have been able to get their money from having these videos on the platform, right? But before they were getting their money, YouTube was just putting all the videos on there, and then it became a problem because the record labels are like, yada, yada, yada. We're not getting our cut. Even though we're raping all the artists. You're not paying us. And then they got their hands in the pot. So now you got Vivo and all these things. Fast forward, when I started to create on YouTube, there was no monetization. There was no ads. There was no sign up and get money. And people who were creating content on YouTube was doing it because the people who were on there just like to create video content.
Yep.
You had Facebook, which was its own thing. Then you had MySpace, probably still at the time, possibly.
Yeah.
And then you had YouTube, which was like a video-based social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's many dispensations, and any of my other YouTube OGs who's been on the platform before trying to make a living and getting YouTube rich or becoming a YouTube celebrity. Before YouTube was a clout thing, before YouTube was about getting a plaque. I have one of those, by the way. Y'all never see it in the background, no, do you? But anyways, before YouTube became about any of those things, it was more so about, just creating content. It was a fun place to be. And now you fast forward to society, even in the different dispensations. I remember when they first started to allow monetization, I didn't even monetize my content because I was like, no, I'm not going to monetize my content. Like, we're trying to get away from mainstream media. We're trying not to give no light to these fools and these advertisers. And for a long time on my platform, even after YouTube had became a place of monetization, I didn't used to monetize videos. Then it got to the point where 80% of YouTubers, everything's monetized. So it's like, you know what? I might as well, because all of these people who's watching my channel, it's even more people watching these other channels that got these videos
Yep.
hella monetized. So whatever.
Mm.
Let me go ahead and add some ads, since that's what we're doing with it anyway. And so then we get to this point, and now we're to the point to where we already see how the algorithm is happening in response to consumerism. YouTube, Facebook, all of these places are no longer a place for you to just be entertained and connect with other people and share information. These are consumerism farms. These are places that are creating platforms and algorithms to where you will buy.
Yep.
The algorithm isn't based on what you want to see or what you want to learn. It's based on what they think that you want to see, based on what type of advertisements overlay those type of content and those types of videos. So now we're in a space to where everybody wants to be a YouTuber. When I was doing YouTube back in the day, people were looking.
She's so true about that. And just like if you say something or talk about something, the next thing you know, you go on your phone or you go on the internet and it's got all kinds of commercials for that exact thing you talked about. And it's like, well, somebody's listening somewhere. You can't tell me people are not listening, because you could just have a proper conversation with someone, and the next thing you know, it's showing up on your phone, it's showing up in your news feeds, it's showing up all over the place of something that you had talked about that maybe you want to get, maybe you want to deal in, maybe you want to start a business with, whatever. It just starts popping up out of nowhere. Before, it never popped up before, you know, but as soon as you start talking about it, immediately it's popped up everywhere, all over the place. And she's right. This used to be non monetization. People used to come here just to get information or to watch videos, but mainly people came here to find out how to fix things. If you needed to fix something and you didn't know how, go to YouTube. There was always someone that was on YouTube making a video teaching you how to fix it yourself. It was kind of like a DIY, do it yourself, right? And DIY, do it yourself kind of thing, which they still have those. But now it's been overtaken with so much evil. And let's talk about this person for the drama. And let's talk about this person. And let's paint this person as this. And let's paint this person as that. And these people don't know you. They don't know you at all. But in their minds, they know everything about you. They know every step you make. They know everything you do. But in reality, it's in their head. It's not your actual reality. It's not you. They don't know you. And that's why my podcast is named You Don't Know Me. You may think and assume you know everything about me, but you know absolutely nothing about me. And taking little tiny clips and piecing them together doesn't make you know me either, at all. None of you will ever know me, and I will never know you. But nor do I try to get in your life to know you, nor do I want to know your business. Do I want to blackmail you? No, no. But there is people on this platform that do it. And they do it for shits and giggles. They think it's funny. They think it's amazing. And they're the people with the most views. But just remember, Just remember, be careful who you follow, because that person might be taking you on the road to hell and not on the road to heaven. And then that's between you and your maker. It really is.
Down on me. My family, they're like, how do you go from being this intelligent, smart person who has the world is yours? You can go to med school, you can become a teacher, you can do this. There's so many things that you can do. Why are you choosing YouTube? To now everybody and their mama, you ask them what they want to do, they want to be a YouTuber. And I was telling people that YouTube was going to be the new thing 10 years ago. However, we are now at the spot, even with YouTube, even with social media, and a lot of these things that we're seeing, we're at a bubble. It's getting ready to pop.
You believe it.
So the thing is, and this is not to discourage anybody from doing anything that they're doing. The thing is, to even if you want to get on social media and you want to get part of these platforms, it's time to see these things as a means to an end.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? This is a means to an end. All right. Don't look at this as your end. Don't look at this as, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an Instagrammer. I want to be a TikToker.
No.
Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Use this
That's
as a vehicle to create something else, or to gather the resources, the tools,
Yep.
the audience that you need for something else that you're going to be creating, and something else is going to be coming at a future point in time.
That's right.
Gems for 2024. Okay. So the thing is, many of you are truly at a space where you're disinterested in much of what the Matrix has to offer. We spoke about this even when on the video I spoke about the genius. Okay. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. It's a very good one. Many of you are at a point where you're just literally bored with the Matrix family. That's why I'm like, if you're in a stage in your life where you just don't feel motivated, or even like you know how people are still, you're talking about, this is how you manifest this, you can visualize that, you can visualize a new car, a new house, you can visualize a new this. Some people are like, I don't want to visualize none of that trash.
Right.
And any of you who are manifestation masters know, like, it's not that hard to manifest anything in the material realm.
That's right.
You just have to put your focus and energy towards it.
Yep.
But so many of you are elevated beyond that point that you understand that all of these superficial things truly mean nothing. They hold no value. It's empty space. So you're at a point in your evolution where some of you are confused because you're like, why don't I have interest in these things? Why don't I have like a strong burning desire for this or a burning desire for that? And it's because that stuff is already dead.
Mm-hmm.
And especially dead to you because you've elevated.
Yep.
The Matrix no longer entices you.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There's just not much here that you look forward to.
Honestly.
And so the thing about this is a beautiful.
See, a lot of people don't know. I come back and I try to do reaction videos and stuff because I do have people that watch me that don't say anything, and enjoy, watching my content or enjoy listening to what I have to say. But I'm moving up further, and I'm not going to talk about it, but it will be known, eventually. It won't be too much longer that it will be well known. But, YouTube is not my life, not my desire, not my wish come true. But I'm going to be opening my own business, and I'm going to be very busy with my own business. And it's not about YouTube, and it's something I never ever thought in a million years I would even do. And if I hadn't have came onto it months ago, I never would have done it. I would have never thought of it. I never would have done it. It would have never been on my radar, ever. And now I look at the possibilities and I'm like, wow, not only that, but I'll be able to help people, a lot of people, and not, rob their pocketbook, like a lot of companies in this industry that I'm talking about are actually doing. Um, you're going to be very surprised at how I'm going to be doing things. And then go, after I do it, go and do your searches on the same exact thing that I will have and go see the pricing of it. And I, for the life of me, do not know why they're trying to make 300% profit, and they are doing it every single day. And to the consumer, it's not fair. And just like I learned that Locks of Love charges people who have cancer and things like that, they charge them for their wigs. But yet, people donate that hair for free. It may cost approximately, maybe $5 altogether to actually make a human hair wig. And I know you're sitting there going, $5, $5 for real human hair to stitch it. Yes, yes, yes. And how much are they selling it for? 130 to $900. And it just depends on what boutique you go to look at the wigs. That's it. But I can't for the life of me understand the 300% markup. I just I can't understand it. That's why I'm not going to be doing it that way.
Place for you to be, because this is going to allow you to create something from a completely different space, from a completely different environment. The reason that you don't feel motivated, the reason that you don't feel inspired is because you're looking to the wrong place for that inspiration and for that motivation. You're just simply not gonna find it in the matrix. You're beyond that.
Yep.
The drones and the bots, they might think that's what they want because they're not into the level of self-actualization that will make them realize that all of those things are an illusion.
Yeah.
All of those things are a facade.
They
But when you get to a point of knowing, you can't unknow what you know.
That's right.
I think that it's in Ecclesiastes when it says, and as knowledge increases, sorrow increases, right? It's almost like
It does.
with much knowledge, there's much vexation. And the thing about it is you can't unknow what you know. That's why you ever heard that quote or that saying, that adage that says ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. It is.
So the thing about this
You'd
is
much rather not know.
that lack of motivation, that lack of inspiration, that lack of burning desire that you've been feeling, this has actually been pointing you in a completely different direction. This has actually been subconsciously making you seek something that you haven't even realized that you've been seeking.
Yep.
And the thing about this is, as you continue to isolate yourself, some of you have become sick even at the end of 2023 or at the beginning of 2024, because this has been the excuse that you actually needed to isolate yourself and not feel bad about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the beautiful thing about this isolation, even some of you, there might be just people that you just might have pulled back in general. I'm not saying that you don't have people in your life. Of course, people that are consistent with you, you probably make time and space for. But many of you have just really pulled back your energy from a lot of people, places, and things. Even some of you might be fasting. Some of you might have taken breaks off of social media, television, all types of stuff, just to harness your own energy, just to be to you, just because really you're sick of it.
Yeah.
Whether you realize that consciously or subconsciously. So the beautiful thing about this is putting you in a space to discover a new land. Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to discover a completely new land, family. You're getting ready to discover a new dimension.
Yeah, I actually am.
There are going to be ideas and visions that suddenly appear to you. And this is going to appear as you focus towards the future.
Yep.
It's important to be present. You have to stay grounded, right? So you know how it's all this whole talk The most popular rhetoric of this century has been, live in the present, live in the now. Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
The past, the present, and the future, it's happening simultaneously. Time, space, reality is an illusion. You can bend
Yes.
time, you can change time. Many of you who this is for, you're living outside the realms of time.
Hmm.
So the thing is, you can tap into any of these spaces where and whenever you want and still be completely present, right? What I'm trying to say is that for those of you listening to this is a time where it's going to be much more beneficial to you to look towards the future, because that's what you're bringing into existence. You're creating ahead of time.
Hmm.
Stay present within yourself. Yes, absolutely. Eat when you need to eat, exercise when you need to exercise, do the things that you need to do. Be grateful. When you're dealing with people, be present with them. When you're relaxing, be present with yourself. When you're watching a Peacock special, be present with the Peacock special. When you're chilling with your cat, rub him, rub his neck. They love to get their neck rubbed. Rub under the chin, feel the purr. Be present with
My
that.
baby loves her
When you with
belly
your
rub.
dog,
Yep.
feel that. You see
She
what I'm trying
loves
to
her
say?
belly
When you're
rub.
looking at your fish, be one with them. See how beautiful they look in the aquarium. So, yes, be present in those moments, but use your mind during this time to focus towards the future. Because you're going to see that as you look outside of the present bubble that is happening, that is getting ready to explode when people least expect it, you're already going to be over here creating in a completely different space. What I'm trying to say is some of you are way ahead, are going to have the ability to be way ahead. Now, you are already ahead in who you are in your spiritual nature. Your spiritual man is way ahead. Your wisdom is way ahead. Your knowledge is way ahead. The things that you understand and you're realizing about society are way ahead. So the thing about it is create for the future, because when this bubble bursts, the first place that everybody is going to run is towards what you created. Leaders lead. Leaders are on the leading edge. Leaders don't do what's already been done and what's all already oversaturated. And if you see a leader doing that, hey, do what you got to do, make ends meet, use these things that are currently in circulation as a means to an end, not the end. Don't make being a YouTuber your end goal. Don't make being a TikToker, Instagrammer, OnlyFanner your end goal. Okay? Focus towards the future.
Yep.
Step outside this time space reality, and many of you are going to be able to do this. Like, you're going to see that as soon as you shift your perspective from the debauchery. Okay, all
I know
right,
what you're
y'all,
saying.
I'm gonna stop. All right, I know y'all get the point. And for those of y'all who feel me, for those of y'all who've chosen, you know what I'm saying about this world. Y'all know
I
what
know
I'm
what she's
saying.
saying.
It's enough. It's like,
Hmm.
you know how much it sucks to live in a world and to live in a society where it's like the
Yeah.
foolishness. The foolishness just don't stop. And it don't stop. It's like when is justice gonna rain down? You
Right.
feel me? It just has been expanding. This is
Okay, so there's like 15 minutes left. I always ask, I put it in the description below, and I always ask for you to go over there, click it, give a thumbs up, maybe a comment, maybe a like, because that was her hard work. And I just like to react to it. I love the way that she brings, thoughts and things to life, and the way that she talks about things that you think she's talking about one thing, but she's actually talking about another. If you're awake, you know. If you're not awake, then you don't know. But there's only so much, though, as well, that she can say on this YouTube, because YouTube has changed. It's not the same anymore. It's okay to fight and bicker and call each other names and uh, you know say people do this or people do that, but it's not okay to tell you the truth about what's going on in your world. And that just goes to show you that Satan is running the show. It's him. It's not it's not God. And the people that are following God, your heavenly Father, you're going to do the best that you can to be kind, to be nice, to treat others as you want to be treated, and just do the best that you possibly can. But make every day count, every single day, because you're not promised 5 minutes at all. So call your loved ones, hug and kiss your loved ones, let them know that you love them. Don't think about the past. If someone has hurt you in any way, shape, or form, let that past go and move on to the future. You've got brighter things, because you cannot move on to the future if you don't let the past go. And believe me, that was a learning example for myself and my daughter, is letting the past go. Never thought in a million years I was even holding on to the past until I was shown in a dream. And then it made me realize that if you harbor and hold on to the past, you can never move forward and create an amazing future, because you're still harboring onto the past. Kind of like someone I know that's still harboring me 7 years ago, thinking I'm me 7 years ago. No, I've grown, I've learned, I've been through battles here and there, and I am not that person. I am just not. Don't even have the same last name. But that other person, they live with, I'm that person, that I've never changed, and this and that and the third. And I have to sit back and I have to laugh, because the videos I watch on it, I'm like, that's not even close to me today. Like, that's not even close to who I am. I don't even know that person on the screen. I don't know that person. I don't know that person. And I think a lot of you, if you guys were streamers or, content creators, you would be the same way. Go back and look at your stuff from, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and see if you're that same person. You're not. You don't look like that person. You don't sound like that person. You don't think like that person. You're not that person. Nice to see you, SDA. I'm getting ready to close this out. So I hope you have a magical day, sweetheart. But yeah, you're not the same person. And every single day, a lot of us are growing faster than others and waking up to, reality faster, and realizing that the things we once liked, we no longer desire. The things we once thought was cool is no longer cool. The things that we once thought that was entertaining is no longer entertaining. And that's because we've grown. We've matured. We've moved past that. And a lot of times, this is why I believe that music is so powerful, is because a lot of times music, if something's going on in the world or something, I will turn music on. I will lead to music. I will lead myself to music. I have noticed that a lot of other people, they do the same exact thing. They lead themselves to music. If you've noticed, if you've ever broken up with someone, you have a breakup song. If someone has ever expired, you have an expired song. If you've had the happiest time of your life, you have a happiest time of your life song. This is why music's so powerful. But you also have to be careful of the music that you listen to, because it can program your mind to do different things as well. So you just have to be careful about every single little thing in moderation. And that's why I take a lot of time off of here and stuff like that, is because I don't live here. I have other things that are so much more important to me, that is in real life, or things I'm doing that's in real life, that this, even doing reaction videos or what have you, is just creation, right? But it's not my life. And like I said, I find it funny that people think that they know you because you've been on the internet and you've been chatting and you've talked about certain things, but yet they don't know you at all. They don't know your favorite color, your favorite drink, your favorite song, your favorite movie, you know, your favorite objects. They don't know anything about you. Nothing. They don't know. But they try so hard to find the bad. And like I said, let them find the bad, because even if you have bad, honey, you've moved past that, you've conquered that, and you've moved on to something bigger and better, and you're doing way better than you was then. And you may have been in a different life, been with different crowd that put you in the position that you was in, you know. I know, especially I learned a lot of different tools when I went to anger management. Matter of fact, I actually loved it, and I learned a lot of how to manage your anger. And when I first got here and I wasn't going live and stuff, I was just doing my actual, my own creations. Um, I never thought in a million years that what happened to me would happen. And I didn't know how to deal with it. And I didn't know, I had never had anybody, call me a CP watcher. I had never had anybody say the most horrible, cruel, satanic, demonic things in all my life, ever. Like, even the worst people that I've met in the world have never talked about me like that or said things like that. And I honestly was floored about it. And I couldn't even remotely come close to trying to figure it out in my head. And sometimes I would come on and I would be screaming and I would be upset and I would just be like, I can't believe that you people are actually believing this, and that you people are putting this upon me, and that you people actually think this. And it was weird because the other day, another person was, it was said that this other person, I'm not mentioning names, but it was said that this other person had watched CP on X. And I had heard about it and I was just like, okay, here we go again. Well, then down in the comments, a specific comment was made that said, nobody should ever be called that. And that same specific person called me that. That same specific person left comments on my videos calling me exactly that. Be careful, because he's watching. God's watching. You ain't got to worry about other people as much as you do him. And where are you going to go? Because these words on these computers are going to follow you. They definitely will follow you. Because you think you can hide behind fake names and say whatever evil you want to say. And you think you can get away with it and that it's all okay. It's not ever going to come back to you. It will come back to you in forms that you don't want it to. And I don't wish that upon you or anyone else. I want everybody to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. And on that note, I'm going to close this out and have the rest of your day be magical. Thank you for the people that are praying for myself and my daughter. And like I said at the beginning, she is doing great. I am very happy and blessed that God gave me 2 daughters and a son. And I will see all of you the next time that I decide to come. I actually got an email from someone, and that's what made me go live today, so that they can be able to watch me. And because they enjoy watching me. So a big shout out to you, and I keep you in my prayers. And everything's going to work out. We're not the ones in control. Our Father up there is the one in control. And He's the one that's going to make sure everything's going to work out. So I'm going to end this with, if you would like to become a member, and then I will see you next time. Mwah. I'm out.
If you would like to become a member, there will be a link in the description below. It's $4.99, and what you get is a reading each time that I'm live, or whenever you would like one. If you would like an intensive reading, that is $40 for 30 minutes. Most of the time I go over that, and I use as many cards as we need until we get to the desired destination of what we're looking for. Remember, we're not promised 5 minutes, so call your loved ones, give them a hug, because this ain't gonna last forever. I'm Betty, and I'm out.